Hey y'all, my name is De'Erica Lacey, and this is my advocacy project. I'm at the Alabama A&M Law State campus for social work. This class is family and child welfare. I will be talking about domestic violence. Domestic violence is a pattern of abusive behavior toward an intimate partner in a day or family relationship where the abuser exerts power and control over the victim. Domestic violence is a silent tragedy that most often happens behind closed doors. Domestic violence is prevalent in every community, regardless of socioeconomic status, gender, race, religion, or nationality. It can result in physical injury, psychological trauma, and even death. It's not just physical abuse, but also emotional, sexual, psychological, and economical abuse. um, Domestic violence in America has increased significantly over the years, and most victims are women with children. The significance of domestic violence is it's an issue because if children are frequently exposed to violence in the home, they tend to have social and physical problems. Children also start to believe that violence is a normal part of life and often grow up and become abusers themselves. Perpetrators are more than likely victims of abuse as well. They were either abused or witnessed abuse growing up. Domestic violence is an ongoing issue within families. The scope, nature, and dimension of domestic violence is 30% of women in relationship report that they have experienced some sort of physical and sexual abuse committed by their intimate partner in their lifetime. The main risk factor in domestic violence is the belief that abuse is susceptible, whether that's physical, verbal, or sexual. Other risk factors include substance abuse, mental health issues, childhood traumas, and dependence on their abuser. Statistically, statistically 38% of women who have been murdered have been committed by a male partner or spouse. Desired outcomes for victims would be more treatment groups for victims should become available. Victims can get connected with social service resources for mental health treatment, shelters, advocacy organizations, help with funding for children and daily needs. Restraining orders can be put in place for the victims to limit and prohibit contact between the victim and their abuser. Order can last for years or even indefinitely. Survivors of domestic violence may have different needs at different times. In the immediate aftermath of the incident, survivors may need help with safety, housing, transportation, and removing the perpetrator from the home. They may need help with economic security, such as education and employment. Target for domestic violence advocacy would be domestic violence cases target a variety of audiences. The main target would be for the victims and survivors. Survivors are top priority because advocacy can help with policies that center their safety, well-being, and independence. Children are also a target because efforts can provide services and support for children who are involved in abusive relationship or witness domestic violence. Perpetrators are also a target because it could show them that it's wrong what they're doing. Um, in general, advocacy can promote awareness for victim issues, rights, and their lawmaking. Barriers to accomplishing those outcomes will be some shelters don't allow women with male children to live in the shelter. The fear of losing their kids to the system, the fear of deportation. Victims doubt that other people will believe them. Um, some victims have limited knowledge of the laws and rights, so they don't get the services. Victims feel that the abuse will also escalate. They also feel embarrassed and are sometimes in denial. And also, court personnel could be microaggression, show microaggression. Authority that can eliminate those barriers will be depending on the case. Some could be the judges, but in all, the main person that can eliminate barriers is the victims themselves. But judges, if domestic violence goes to court, then the judges have the right to overturn those barriers as well. Organizations with interest in domestic violence that I went to was the YWCA. I used to work there, so I had a lot of experience with a lot of domestic violence women. This organization helped women with daycare, housing, get back on their feet, find jobs, help their children, get an education, and things of that nature. So they also hold women there to help them. Um, we discussed how the YWCA helped over 300 women with jobs, housing, compensation, education, daycare, and treatment groups to help cope with the trauma. And they also help the children as well. Strategies for changing domestic violence will be educate yourself about domestic violence. If you suspect someone is being abused, report it. Speak out against victim blaming and discrimination to end the stigma of domestic violence. There are 3 R's in stopping domestic violence: recognize, respond, and refer. Recognize the warning signs of domestic violence. Respond by talking privately with the person you suspect of being a victim. And lastly, if you know someone that need help or get out of a domestic violence situation, there's a domestic violence hotline number that they can call to get help as well. And here's the references that I use to help me with this. So again, this is my advocacy project on domestic violence. Thank you.